Hello everyone, this is Planckera, and welcome to my universe. So, today I looked at this and I was like, hey, you know what? I think her torso area is fine enough, so let's just go render it all out. That said, I'm still not entirely sure about this arm. But it's okay. I think I'd like to get just her torso done, and then maybe I'll see about rendering her shoulders and stuff. I like to get the things that are on top of other things first. Hello there, Sundawn. Welcome back. Alright, so I figure I'll just jump right into that. So, at this point, since I'm pretty okay with how things look, I mean, at most I might adjust where these ruffles are. I'm gonna leave them white for now because it makes them easier to see. But I think it's mostly correct. It does look like her stomach is going back to me. And I mean, I guess this part down here might be a little bit low, but it's probably all fine. I'll just adjust those couple of things on the dress, but this area I think is all fine. So there we go. Let's go make those quick adjustments, and from there, I do think that I can just kinda start bringing everything together. It occurred to me when I was looking at this right before stream that it makes sense for her chest area to be a little bit big because she's leaning forward. So I think it's fine for just this whole area here to feel a little bit larger than it would otherwise, since her hips are, you know, back here somewhere, and this entire area through here is going backwards. And perspective dictates that when you do perspective things, the things going back get smaller. So I think that is actually correct. It's been something I've been thinking about. I haven't talked about it that much because I keep getting distracted by a lot of other things, and I think that's fine. But that was something I was thinking about, and I do think that it's all good. And here I'm just trying to kind of perfect the angle here because more complicated pose things, because I decided to make a complicated pose where her shoulders are going this way, but her hips here are going to be like a little bit straighter, so that this way she isn't going to be like falling down. You can see her legs are pretty much straight up and down. There's a slight tilt to them because I just tilted the entire image basically, but they're pretty much straight. So I need to make sure that her tummy area here transitions between the angle I have here and the angle I have here. So feeling that out for the moment. And indeed, it is something that I am feeling. There are some people that do a bunch of like really complicated construction, and their stuff very nice, very gorgeous. I'm just not one of those people. I feel it. I am a highly intuitive painter, as they say. Let's see. I think this is right. And then I just kind of want to adjust this part here and fix how it's curving. I want there to be a slight curve there. Just a small one. Okay. Let's see, before and after. The stuff down here aside that I'll have to fix later, I do think that is a little bit better. Okay, cool. Anywho, I am still feeling good enough about all of this to start rendering all the stuff here, which does mean I do need to clean up the edges and finally add the little, like, spiky bits here that I've been ignoring the entire time. They just haven't been relevant. Those details doesn't matter. Alright, I think it's time to merge all this. Get rid of some of the unnecessary layers. Let's see. Okay, so first I'm gonna focus on cleaning some of the structural parts and make sure that I get this top part pointy, because that is quite important. This part needs to be pointed. And since on the reference out here, this side part goes pretty much straight down, so I want it to be straight, kind of relative to here. Just slight curve. Just a tiny one. Due to the shape of the area, but for the most part, straight. Want it to be mostly straight. I just want to have just enough curve to make it clear that it is wrapping around something round. Okay. And then I'm not gonna, like, super perfect everything yet. I am just going to finish off the last structural details, and then I will add all of the spiky bits. And then once I have the spiky bits, then I can worry about getting everything super smooth. Okay, and I'm gonna invert the dress here. Let's see, I had another one somewhere. There it is. Just so that this way, everything is a little bit easier to see. I do love being able to invert the colors. It's very nice. Because I have found that in general, if I'm having trouble seeing something, it's either because the area is a little bit too dark or a little bit too light. So inverting the colors just gives me an easy way to swap between everything, and it's very convenient. Okay. So this is kind of coming down like that. I don't want her to be, like, too flat, so we'll wrap around like that. Okay. And I might have to adjust tummy area again with some of these changes that I'm making. But I do believe that something like this will be about right. Alright, let's get the side here. Just pull everything toward the direction her body is going. And there we go. Kind of round this guy out a little. Let's see. In fact, if this is going to be like that, I probably want something more like this. Let it wrap around a little bit more like that, and I'll fill in the hole in just a sec. Once I am happy with everything here. And again, a very, very slight curve necessary here. Just to make this area look somewhat round. I just don't want to overdo it because this line is supposed to be mostly straight. Like, the outfit thinks it's moving in a straight line. It's just because the surface that it's on is a little bit curved. That it curves a little bit too. Okay. Let's see, I feel like this side is hanging down a bit too much. So I'm gonna shave a little bit off here. It's probably not super important, since everything is gonna kinda blend together into the dress, but nonetheless, I do want to keep things reasonably accurate so this way I can safely draw underneath here. There we go. Now it feels like this line is respecting the angle of her body a little bit better. Okay. There we go, just cleaning up those edges there. I'll go ahead and put this guy back now. He's just gonna be sitting behind here. There we go. Let me zoom out and just make sure that this is all okay here. Feels a little slanted. Boop. Yeah, and just do the last few things to kind of perfect things here, because after this, I never want to touch this area again. I have been doing much flail here, and once I have declared this done, I don't want to touch it again. I am ready for this area to be done. I am so ready, man. It's okay. Torso, next up on my study list. I'm going to do a bunch of torso studies, and I am going to understand how this works, so that hopefully I can construct a good one in much less time. That's the goal. Okay. And then I can do all the crazy poses and perspective that I want. Looks good to me. Let's go make it spiky. Okay. So let's see. How do the spiky bits work? Looks like they just go all the way around. Yep, I see them up top there. And they do go all the way around. So that's how it's gonna work. And about how big are they anyway? How big are those spiky parts? I'd say they're comparable in size to this guy. They vary quite a bit. So it looks like I could probably just do whatever I want with maybe this metal bit as a guideline. So that's how I'm going to think about it. And then let's see. Okay. The top. Yeah, okay. I can do what I want. Look, I just like to verify. I want to make sure that I get the design as accurate as possible. I don't know, when I'm drawing somebody else's character, it always feels a little disrespectful to me to not get it right. Hello again, Beanie. Welcome back. Okay. And so the spiky parts vary in size quite a lot, so I'm just gonna casually draw them. It's fine. It'll all be fine. Let's see, and how do they meet up in the middle here? Pretty much like this. So, seems good to me. I am doing pretty alright. Just got started here. And this area I've been having a lot of trouble with throughout this entire process, and today is the day I finally finish it. So, looking forward to that, that I never have to touch her torso again. And I'm just like, heck yeah. I will be free at last. So, yay! Yay! I always feel this way when I'm finally finishing up a fairly difficult part. Just like, yay, I'm almost free! Freedom is within my grasp. I can taste it. So yeah, just kind of putting the last details on here, and then I am going to render all of this, and we're going to smooth out all these colors, and it's going to be fantastic. Just absolutely fantastic. Oh, that little guy here. Okay. I am glad that her original artist was not very precise about how these spiky bits work too. So I can just do the thing. It's gonna be great. And then I can just do some nice sleepy rendering time. I think that'll feel good today. Today, I don't know if I had trouble sleeping last night or what, but I have just been a little bit sleepy. I think it's because, like, yesterday I was starting a new picture, so I had to do a lot of, like, big decisions there. And then before stream yesterday, I was also starting a new picture off stream for things. And so I was also figuring out the thing there, and unlike the picture I was drawing on stream, I decided to do crazy perspective shenanigans in that one, so I was doing all kinds of wrangling. So I think I am still just a little bit tired from doing all the things yesterday. Oh, my creative energy has not fully returned. That's okay. Today's a rendering day. I don't need it. And then, thank you very much, Beanie. I like this one too. I am so looking forward to drawing this castle in the background. I think I say it like, I don't know, every third day I work on this, but that castle in the background has been calling me, man. And I am looking forward to finally being able to work on it all. I want to dig into this background. Whoa! What'd you do today? Let's curve these guys just a little bit here. Alright, so as always, I'm just kind of focusing on the outside right now, so that this way I can lock the layer and color safely without having to worry about going outside the lines. I see. Sounds tasty. Oh, congrats. Okay. So making sure I got all these little gaps filled in. I don't think I'm going to put too much color up here, because it's all going to be kind of in shadow. I really want to make sure that it looks like the top of her chest here is pointing away from the light. And the way you do that is by putting a lot of shadows in. That's how you indicate plane changes. It's just where you put the shadows. Well, that sounds dangerous. Good luck, friend. Okay. Well, I mean, to be fair, even though I did say that it sounds dangerous, totally and definitely not catching feelings for someone is pretty amazing in its own right. Can guarantee, have been married for a long time. And I still remember back before I was dating my husband, and I, even though I am the lady, was the one that made the first move, and thinking about it, it's very nostalgic, but also makes me want to die of cringe. So... there you go. Good luck. But it's all very worth, in my opinion. I think that a lot of the quality of our life is determined by the quality of the connections we make with other people. So, being able to find a good one, well, it's good. It's important. Definitely worth doing. Alright. I actually feel like I should probably be doing this more like this, but I can't do it. Well, that's useful, I suppose. It's like, man, you'd think that if he kept having this problem, he'd get to watch himself. Alright, so I've got almost all the way around here. So I do think that most of this is all shaped the way I want. I will zoom out and check it one last time. Because like I said, I do not want to have to touch this again. Ever. I guess I'll have to some extent because I don't plan on putting all the little, like, trim details on yet. That's gonna come later. But yeah. Do not want to have to touch the structure of this ever again. I am so ready to be done. So I do want to give it one last look before I call it good. But from there, I can start smoothing out all my colors and making everything look nice. And the good news is that I actually kind of like the way the dress looks now. I mean, not like right now, because right now it's in ugly green mode, but before I turned it ugly green mode. Before I turned it ugly green mode. Once I invert the colors back, it's gonna be great, and then I can go render that too. I am well on my way to finishing the character. I don't think I'll finish her today, but just because, I mean, even if by some miracle I did manage to, like, finish her entire torso, dress, all the details, and all the things, I still have to do the light and shadow, and then that's a little time consuming because I like playing with light. The light is so much fun. I see. That's okay. Sketchbooks are meant for creativity, so, you know, do what makes you happy. Okay. Let's go check this. How are we doing? Let's go turn my hot pink lines back on here. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, I'm going to adjust my pink lines here. Make sure that I still like the way everything is connecting. I did change it just a little bit. Like I said, I am scared. I have been having a time with her torso here and how it's been facing. So I want to make sure that I got everything right. Very important. I do not want regrets later down the painting. But I do think I got it this time. So this should connect, like, right there-ish. Gonna straighten this out just a little. I actually feel like it should connect a little bit more, like, here, which tells me this part's a little bit too high. I mean, I do think neurodivergency has certain advantages over other people, so if you're finding a way to make it work, you know, good on you. Good luck. Unironically, after trying streaming for myself, I can see why a lot of very successful streamers have some form of ADHD or something. Because I gotta tell you, doing stuff on screen, talking, and reading chat at the same time, quite hard. Way harder than I gave it credit for at the beginning. I've kind of gotten used to it, so that's been nice, but I can see where the ability to just jump around and see these kinds of things would make it a little bit easier. I was just using it as an example. Let me see. I just noticed that there was a random line down here. So my tablet probably thought I was clicking at one point. Let's get rid of that. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I am going to have to liquefy this a little bit. It's okay, this is why I am testing things from every angle. So that this way I can fix any problems that arise right now and not later. Okay. This strap here just felt a little bit long compared to this one, so I wanted to push it back on over. There we go. That's good. And I would actually like to adjust this guy here just a little. Oh, I have my brush, not my liquefy. There we go. Just a little. I think it's fine if this guy is not necessarily super, like, what's the word? Sharp? If the shading on it gets a little bit blurry. So I don't think I need to go back and correct it, but we'll see how I feel when I zoom out. Regardless, I do think it looks better with the slight angle change. And I think we're good here. This all seems okay. Right here still feels maybe a little bit long, so I'm wondering if I have this at a good angle. Especially since I'm not quite sure if I have this at a good angle. So let's see. Let's see. I might just need to twist. Oh, I definitely want to make sure I have all of the little bat wing bit here, though. Aw. Well, I gotta tell you, being a mom myself was definitely one of the best decisions I ever made, so... If you find a decent person to start a family with, I definitely think it's worth doing. Highly recommend. Tiny humans are fantastic. Okay. We good? Let's give it one last look over. But I think I'm good. Okay, let me fix the parts that got a little bit blurry. But fortunately, I didn't need to adjust that much, so I do not actually feel like there's too much I need to fix here. Yeah, it actually looks pretty okay. Nice. Okay. Okay, let's go and smooth all this out. So here, I'm just gonna keep everything super smooth. So I will get my super smoothing brush. And here, there'll be a little bit more of a hard shadow, but everywhere else, just gonna smooth. Things are gonna look a little funky for a bit, but that's fine. I will fix it. I just always find that doing this as a first step gets me something that looks a little bit smoother and a little bit more interesting. I don't know. I might be crazy, but It doesn't take that long, and it does make the rest of the smoothing process go a little bit more smoothly. Pun not intended. Thank you very much, Beanie. Okay. Well, I mean, that's one option, I suppose. Cooking is one of those skills that I do think is very useful, although I never actually picked it up myself either. I can use a microwave, and then that's good enough for me. Alright. Time to make everything nice and smooth here. So normally I'd have some clothing folds here, but the design, super anime, so it's all just... There are no folds. It's fine. So I will respect the super anime-ness of the design and just do it like this. So everything here will be super smooth, because otherwise I'd probably have some folds going across like that. But it's fine. It's all fine. Well, hey, I mean, like I just said, I do think it's worthwhile pursuing love if you are so inclined, but I don't think it's necessarily required. But I do think that the quality of our lives really is determined by the quality of our connections with other people. In a lot of ways. And I will very much stand by that. My life certainly got a lot better when I met my husband. So... But I at the same time, I'm not sure how much of it is something that you can look for. In my case, I wasn't looking for anything. He just happened to be part of a gaming group I got invited to, and stuff happened. I was also figuring I'd be single my entire life. It just didn't quite work out that way. And I'm okay with this. All right. Things are looking pretty good, I think. Just kind of trying to respect all of my shapes here. And make sure that I am getting shadows on the sides that need shadows in order to make things look round. And I'm still not worried about the center just yet. That will come soon. I just want to get everything nice and smooth first. Ah, kids are great. They're fantastic. Okay. Alright, I think this is all coming out. Gonna zoom out a bit and get the last little bit here just to make sure that the curves are where I want them to be. So when I start drawing, I pretty much always start with really straight lines. I mean, you can see that her shoulders are still pretty straight. This arm is still pretty straight and that kind of thing. But when it comes time to render things, that's when I start getting all the curves. I just find straights easier to understand when I'm still concerned with things like proportion and perspective. And then I just round them out at the end. I just think it's easier to handle. Easier to understand. Alright, I'm gonna grab my blur here. This part right here is just not getting quite as smooth as I want it to be, so I'm just gonna blur things a little. Gotta use it very sparingly because, oh boy, is it powerful. Ideally, yes. It's like, look, I constantly lament that I am mortal and that there are only so many things I can do because there is so much to know in this world that it is impossible at this point for anyone human to know it all. The day of the Renaissance man is over. The sum of human knowledge is just far beyond what any one human can learn now. It's terrifying. And a little bit sad. Sad in the sense that I can't learn it all. Not sad in the sense of, man, why humans gotta be so smart, but humanity's pretty amazing. Alright, let's get this shadow now. And this will be like the last bit here. And then I can get started on, well, probably the things connecting here first, but soon the torso. Nice. They are interesting people. Having a very diverse skill sets is pretty cool. Nice. Alright, I don't mind a couple of folds here. I think it's gonna be easier to draw like that, and I don't feel like correcting it. So, here we go. If it looks fine, I think it is. And I do think it looks fine. Okay, and now I'm just gonna kind of blend those little folds in, and then I think it'll be about done here. Do I have its location just slightly off? I think I do, actually. Okay. I'll have to fix that. I don't cook. My husband does. I did not marry a 5-star chef, but I married a guy that knows how to use an oven. And that's fine for me. Okay, let's get this back in the right location then. Oh yes, the extent of my culinary prowess is, can I microwave it in 5 minutes or less? So you can do it. It just, there are certain advantages to knowing how to cook. Basically, in my opinion, knowing how to do anything is a good thing. Being competent is always a good thing. Because anything you learn will help you learn even more things, and you'll be able to carry that knowledge forward into everything you do. That's why I say, never be afraid to try things. You'll learn something, no matter what it is, even if it's just that you don't like doing that thing. And that knowledge will carry forward with you. And any skills you build will help you build more skills in the future. It's actually easier to learn more skills as you get older for that reason. It's just, I think the reason that adults have a little bit more trouble learning things sometimes is because it's harder to be a beginner when you get older. And you have stuff that you're used to being good at, and then suddenly you're doing stuff that you're bad at, and it feels bad. Okay, there we go. That's better. Oh, nice. Noodles are delicious. I still think that this is in a slightly bad location, so I'm gonna break out the liquefy just a little here. I'm push it over just a touch here. Okay, is that better? Is that more centered? Mostly, but again, it's still not quite where I want it. So I gotta go in again. Look, eventually it'll get there, it's fine. I'm just a little afraid of moving the outside. It's just a little off-center. So it all looks rendered correctly, but I just feel like this fold that I've been trying to get in there is a little bit off-center. And I want it to be centered. Okay, I'm actually going to check it before rendering this time. I should have been doing that the first 2 times, but I didn't, and now I'm suffering for it, so that is the price of my hubris. This time I'm actually going to check it. Always check things. Okay, there we go. Found it. Found the spot. Found the spot it belongs. There we go. Now I can go in and actually make it look nice. And then hopefully I won't have to render it like a 4th time. Okay, like I said, today is a sleepy rendering day. So I kinda get to chill. It feels nice. Give me a little bit of time to recharge the creative batteries. This is why I never really worry about taking too long rendering. Because then I'm just like, I get to make everything look nice, and my brain gets a little break. It's fantastic. And today, my brain definitely needs that little break. Starting new pictures is hard. Blank canvas scary. Okay, I'm gonna extend the fold up into this pointy bit just a little there, and that should be good. Ta-da. That was all I needed to do. Okay. Let's get those strappy bits on now. Alright, well, good luck. It's okay, I figured that's what you meant. Okay, so I'm gonna refine this in hot pink for now, and once I kind of get those lines where I want them and the correct thickness, then I will change their color back to what they're supposed to be. Okay. Now I have the layer locked. There we go. So I want to get this shape just right here. And then I can worry about all the thorns and stuff on it. It's pretty thin. Let me double check the thickness here. If I ignore the thorns... Yeah, I think this is about right. The thorns will make it a little bit thicker looking. And then there'll be some gems on it too. I can put the gems on my gems and stuff layer. Okay, and I'm trying to keep the thickness of the line there pretty consistent all the way through. So let's see here. I think something like that's about right. Okay, now this one I do want it to cover up the little spiky bit there. So I will make sure that is the case, even if I have to kind of adjust the angle slightly in order to make that happen. I just think it'll look weird if there's a gap. So... there we go. And I think that's about right. This side might be a little bit high, but considering that her arm is going up here, and that would kind of pull the side of her body upward, I think that is correct. I kind of give two answers for this, because I started learning how to draw probably something like 20 years ago, and then... But, I mean, I kind of was only drawing on and off, and I wasn't very consistent about it, but about 3 years ago, I started making a point to actually start drawing every day, and that's when I actually, like, got good. So... depending on the kind of answer you're looking for, there you go. Alright, let's put these thorns on. They have a pattern kind of like this. But yeah, it's been a while. I like drawing stuff. Drawing stuff is fun. They have a pattern kind of like this. And I think I'll mostly just keep it all in shadow. I don't think it needs very many details. There. That's something kind of like that. And I think that's fine. I do not think it needs further detailing, so now I can do little gems and stuff. Besides Miku. I mean, I don't know. What do you like to draw? Okay, so it looks like the color of these gems is the same as the color of the inside of her sleeves, which is going to be the same color as her purple dress here. So I will do that. Looks like it kind of comes a little bit off the edge here. And about how big are they? Like, how big are they compared to the metal bit here? So they're slightly larger than this thing. Slightly larger than the thorns, I'd say. So I need to draw this guy a little bit bigger. I might even need to redraw the thorns, actually. Just based on how this is sitting here. Okay. Happy to help. All right, and these were pretty close to a perfect diamond, so I think I have this side a little bit long, so I'm going to go ahead and trim it. And if I need to, I'll just make it bigger afterwards. Nice. Go draw them all. Oh, man. I mean, when in doubt. Okay, let's get the other one on this side. I think this one will be sitting kind of like... I think this one will actually be a little bit closer to this bit here, just due to the angle. So something like that. This is why I say I might have to redraw the thorns, but I'm also not sure if I care enough to. Because it's a small detail, and I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. Okay. And then, where's my swatch? I know I have my color saved here. Okay. And then, where do these other little metal bits go? Looks like it's kind of hanging off the edge of the triangle here. So probably something like this. Let me see, what angle is that relative to the strap here? About the same angle as the strap. So it's gonna sit on her chest kind of like this. And then the same over here. Trying to get it to kind of go the same direction without being like directly on top of the gem here, because I do not think that they overlap. They come close at this angle, but I do not think that they quite overlap. Maybe they do, just very slightly. Okay, I can get behind this. Okay. So I'm gonna go fill all this in, and then it will be time to just shade all the things. Okay, so I think I can actually just use the shadow colors I'm using on her dress here. I think that's fine. I don't think I have a highlight color picked yet. Do I? Oh no, I do actually. This pink. Yeah, I think I can use that too. Let's do it. Keep things simple. Let's see, the side that more directly faces the light is there on this side and here on this side, I think. There we go. And then I can just make this kind of white and put in some last few little sparkles. I do like me some sparkles. Make everything extra shiny. Okay. And then something similar for the little metal bits here. no. You actually have to be shaded like this. This is how the light hits you. You're a little different from the rest. But that's okay. Alright. Okay, there we go. I am from outer space. That is where I live. Okay. So yeah, I think that is all good now. Let's go ahead and turn the dress back on. Just so I can finally get rid of ugly green mode here. There we go. Okay, yeah, I'd say that's looking pretty alright. So, the next bit that I would like to start putting together would be like her chest to torso area. So, shoulders, neck area, and all that good stuff. So let's see. And definitely to do that, I'm going to have to adjust this hair here because I hate this tangent. It's been driving me nuts for so long, but I haven't wanted to fix it until I actually knew where her shoulders would be sitting. So let's go do that now, and then I can get something that's been driving me absolutely mad. I can fix it finally. Oh, thank you very much. Like, I don't even have all the cool effects on right now, so... Okay, let's get those shoulders. Fortunately, I actually think this area's looking pretty okay. I'm still not quite sure about the arm. I don't know, is this, like, skinny? Maybe a little? Okay, that should be okay. And I'm not really gonna worry about all these little cast shadows and stuff yet. Those I like to kind of worry about at the end. So if I color over them, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, yeah, I actually feel like her shoulders are pretty well smoothed out. So I might just go in and color it then. Let me go ahead and... Well, nah, I'll do the cast shadows all at the end. Let's just go smooth some of this out. I don't think that most of this is going to be super soft. There are a couple of spots, like on the arm here. But for the most part, I don't think I need to blend most of this in too hard. Maybe here. Around the collarbones. And probably here, actually. I'll need to make that spot a little bit harder, but that's fine for now. When I'm talking about this hard versus softness, I am just referring to the edges here. Where you can see this edge, I'm kind of vanishing into nothing. So it's going to be a very, very soft edge. Makes her arm look very round. Whereas up here, they're going to be harder. Alright. Admittedly, I do not pay attention to a lot of these random months. I swear, we're gonna run out of months for things. I feel like we're already doubling and tripling up on stuff. Okay. And I'll put a little bit of this little shadow in there, get that nice and smooth. And then I want the slightest little hint of softness right there. Just a tiny bit, enough to make it look like it's curving. But otherwise, this spot needs to be pretty hard. Oh, your birthday's coming up? Well, happy birthday. Okay, and here, once again, I'm gonna make it mostly hard. It's gonna be a little bit softer than some of the other ones. And over here is gonna be very soft. But here, gotta be a little bit harder. Okay. Ah, I see. Ah, okay. Okay. So now I'll get all the shadows around here. Just the way I want it. Want to make sure everything looks nice and soft. Very important. And I am not going to worry about the shadow cast from her clothes just yet. That will come a little bit later, once I'm doing cast shadows for everything else. It'll come before you know it. When it comes down to it, time haunts us all, and we cannot escape it. And every day is one step closer to death. I always try to remember that and make all my days count. No day is complete without a little bit of existential dread, in my opinion. Alrighty. So just trying to get this to the softness that I want it to be at. It's not quite there yet. I'll probably have to go over it a couple more times. But Krita's airbrush just kind of lets you do all kind of nice little things. I really like it. So I get to gush over it sometimes. I'm just able to do way more nice things with it than I ever was with Photoshop's brushes. So I think the gushing is warranted. So I can hardly believe that Krita is free sometimes. Okay. I think it's about there now. How's that? Maybe not quite. Yeah. I'll zoom out a little bit here. Just kind of get the last bit here. I normally shade them in the other direction because everything is lit from the bottom here. Because again, this magic circle is my primary light source here, not the moon. The moon will come later. When I add all the cool lighting effects. So that's what I'm trying to pay attention to. Just that lovely little magic circle at the bottom there. Well, there's... I mean... I guess it depends on how you define birthday. If you're counting individual people, then, you know, naturally there's gonna be way more than one every day. But if you're counting the individual days, then naturally, it's going to be the number of days. That just depends on how you want to count it. Okay, trying to get these to, like, overlap with each other the way that I want them to. And then maybe I take just a little bit of dark shadow, just right there. Just bring out the rest here. Okay, and I want to pull this back just a little. There we go. I think that's fine. Okay, so let's see, is there anything else? I think that's fine for this area, so let's go ahead and get the collarbones here. Oh yeah, I mean, people say stuff like that all the time. But, for me, it's less about identity. Like, I don't know, I think people can get too caught up in just being like, I am this, and I don't want to have to fake it. And I mean, it's good to not necessarily want to fake things, but when it comes down to it, I think that as long as you're doing the things you want to do, or working towards your goals, that's a better way to do it. I see a person defined more by what they do, rather than some arbitrary thing of what they are. But that's just my opinion. So go do what you want, man. It'll be a good time. That's why I'm here drawing every day. Because that's what I want to do. I want to come on the internet and draw. I have some residue somewhere. Okay, from the neck. Love drawing for the internet. It's great. Okay, and then I will pull the edges back here a little. Kind of start blending that in. I don't mind keeping the collarbones pretty subtle. They're not that important. This is just the kind of outfit that really needs them, I think. Otherwise, I'd just leave them out entirely, but I don't know. I feel like with an outfit like this, you gotta draw the collarbones. Just one of those things. It almost feels like it's against the rules to not. Alright, let's make her shoulders look nice now. I had been kind of looking forward to doing so, because I kept a nice big juicy shadow over there because it made it easier for me to understand, but I knew that it would be going away at some point. I knew it would be. So now it is time. It is time to make some of those extra shadows go away. Because I don't have to understand anymore. I can just get everything just right. Okay. So there's that. I'm gonna pull this shadow back just a touch here. Okay. Here, on the other hand, I think is much more shadowed, so it's not gonna go away quite as much. But there we go. I have now pulled her arm up. And I am pleased. Let's do some cast shadows. Okay. So for her dress, I don't think I'm going to use my really dark shadow. I think that is excessive, except for over here, because it's already in shadow. But I will do it for some of these things, like this little sleeve. That'll come up here. And I think it'll leave enough of a shadow that I want to have a little bit of darkness over here as well. I don't really care. That's how I feel about most consumer things. I don't really care. These are not things I think about. Too busy thinking about art and stuff. Heck yeah. Alright. Oh man, it feels good to have a lot of this stuff done now. Now I can just go in and just finish everything. Okay. So I want to add just a little bit more cast shadow from that arm there. And the hand. I figure that there's a pretty good distance between these things, so I'll make them a little bit far away. Okay, and then there's going to be some from the frills here. Being careful not to overdo it since my light source is from below. Okay, and then I do think that this big accessory will definitely have some pretty noticeable shadows. So I'll get those in, and same with the strap here. I just don't... I feel like the dress is close enough to her. Like, it feels like it is literally sticking to her, that I just don't feel the need to draw big shadows there. Like I said, it's an anime design. It is very anime. And so it defies common sense and does whatever it wants. And I gotta shade it accordingly. Okay, almost through. Okay, there we go. That should about do it. And then there needs to be a little bit from the hair here. This hair is resting on her shoulder, so I will actually add just a little bit extra here. But again, being very cognizant of where my light source is, and it is near the bottom. So I don't want to do it too much. How's that? Okay, let's go add just a few more shadows from the dress here. And I will just use my lighter shadow color for that. But I will still give them some. Just a little bit. Easy burgers. Okay, there we go. That works too. Okay, and I think I want just a little bit of shadow up on the side here so that it looks like it's curving. Okay. But there we go. I think that is pretty much finished torso. Yeah, it looks good to me. I guess I could put a few highlights on it, but nah. Nah. I think this is fine. Let's go ahead and get that back arm there. I just want to smooth it out here. There we go, and I actually think I will make it my dark shadow color. Maybe a little bit more like this. Okay. I'm not sure how much that reads as an arm, but I think it's fine. Okay, so with that... Yeah, there's no other accessories or anything here. I'm gonna go fix this hair, because now I can. And from there, I think the next step is going to be her earrings. I'm not sure how much presence that they will have, which is why I kind of want to do it now. There we go. Tangent be gone. Okay. So I think her earrings are mostly going to be covered by hair, but I should have some idea of where they are just so I know if I have to draw them or not. So I'll plop them here, I guess. I blame Old English. Okay, so let's see. Where are her ears going to be roughly? We're going to go into bald mode for a second, so this way I can remind myself where her ears are. What color are they? About the same as the dress, it looks like. Or is it more the same as the frills? Probably this color, actually. Fair enough. Okay, so probably closer to that color. So let's see, probably have an ear about here, which will mean that an earring will kind of do snaky things. God, they are so complicated. Okay. So I'm just going to do a basic sketch here and see if I need to draw them at all. Because I might not. About how big are they relative to her face? I'd say from eyes to chin. So yeah, I need to make this a little bit bigger. And the other one will be kind of here. Kind of coming back this way. So I think it is completely covered by her head. Yeah. Okay, so I think this is the only earring that'll show. And you do see just a little bit of it through her hair. I don't think I'm going to take the time to bring it into a lot of detail, but I will put it there. All right. Well, thank you for stopping by, Beanie. Have a lovely rest of your day. And there we go. Okay, so I'll call that good for earrings. Just kind of give a slight hint that they exist under all that hair. I really should check the one on this side. They are quite large. Okay. I'm not going to be lazy about it. I want to be lazy about it because they look hard to draw. But... I shouldn't be. Okay, so how are they shaped again? So it'll kind of curve around... Oh, I have the layer locked. So let's see, the other ear... Yeah, probably somewhere around there. It'll curve around like this. Go around here. And I think that's accurate. So it does look like her chin and hand are completely covering it. And it'll otherwise be completely covered by her ear or her hair. So, yes, I think that one is just completely hidden. But there we go. Now I can at least feel good about myself knowing that I did not laze out and just say, screw it, I'm not going to draw it. I confirmed that I don't have to draw it. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, just continuing top to bottom here. I guess it's time to get into the dress. Oh, I'm a little terrified. I think before I do that, I want to make sure that her hip frills are good. Because those are kind of sitting on top of the dress. I'm taking one last look at how I have all of this drawn, and I do think it is pretty good. And I'm just double checking to make sure that these frills here are sitting where I think her hips should be. That I have to think about a little. I think it's very close. Very, very close, but it is just a little bit off. This side mostly. And then it will kind of curve back around this way, and there'll be another little frill out here. So something like that. And then, what about you? Are you good? I think it makes sense for this part to be kind of flying upward a little bit with how much this dress area is fluttering. So I think I'm going to make them flutter just a little bit more. So I'm going to pull this side down and this side up a little. So kind of like that. Okay. I still feel like they look a little bit too narrow on her. That's the main thing. It's like when I look at where they're sitting here, it's not at the waist, it's very much at the hips. So probably the widest point of her body. And I'm just like, is the widest part of her body like this? And I don't think so. So that's kind of what's getting me, and why I really want to check to make sure that I have it all right. So I guess I do have one more little proportion thing to worry about here. Before I can actually render all of this. Which does mean that I will probably end up rendering some stuff that's going to be sitting underneath these. Which is a little unfortunate, but I think it's okay. Just because I want some time to look away from these. And really make sure that I have them drawn well. Before I declare them correct. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and invert the colors back, and instead, we will invert the colors on the dress, and go back to ugly green mode. Just so this way I can kind of get those drawn okay. And get everything looking the way that I want it to. Let's see, this guy's gotta be sitting on the edge here. And let's see, on the original, these don't really flip out quite so much. I do want them to be a little bit flippier in mine, just because it is very windy, and that makes things a little flippier. That's just how it works. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of let this one flip upward just a little. Gonna really expand it out a lot. And then down here, it's gonna kind of come down sharply. And then this guy will kind of be pointing this way. It's going to be a little messy, but that's fine. I'll clean it up. Everything always starts a little bit messy. Gives me time to really feel out how I want it all to be. Okay. And this one I'll start letting like flip upward again. So he'll be very flippy. And then we'll have some kind of going in the back there. A little bit underneath here. This one's flipping up a lot. And then I think this much is probably okay. I think its location is pretty alright too. So this guy, he's probably going to be flipping up a lot just based on how that is looking. I feel like the hints are already everywhere, so I can just kind of copy what I did on the other part of the dress. So we'll let him flip up a lot, which will make this guy come down a lot less because he's flippin'. He's so flippin'. And then this guy needs to come down just a little, so he'll be a bit less flippy. So maybe something like this. Just a tight curve. And I can put the shadow kind of on this side. And then over here, things are down again. And I actually think I have the rest of this pretty alright. So I'll just do something like this, and it'll just kind of continue on. I still have the question of, does this make sense for the widest point of her body? Still feel like this side needs to come out a little further. I think this side is okay. I'm gonna pull this out just a little bit more. Put another little frill back there and let it just kind of go all the way around. And from here, things will just... It'll be pointing like downward. Okay, I'm gonna invert her dress again just so I can see how it all looks together. Seems okay. Alright, so I'll sit on that for a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and invert the color on the waist frill, just so I can kind of see where they are, and I am going to work on something else for a bit. So let's see. I guess I can start smoothing out the dress, because I still like the way it looks. I think it's all pretty good. And I can worry about what's underneath the waist frills a little bit later. I don't think they're really going to interfere with anything else, especially all the stuff way out here. And I think they're in a pretty good spot, so I'm going to go ahead and I will just clean up the dress now. Which means it is time to get the edge of this again. Oh, one moment, got a little cough here. Okay. Now the big thing I'm noticing is I don't like the way this is going behind the hair, so I'm gonna let it peek out. Like this. There we go. God, there is so much random hair there. Maybe I should just make it a little shorter. I don't know, should I just cut it like this? Instead? Just so I don't have quite as much hair to finagle around. Yeah, I think that's probably better. Okay. I'll do it like that. Basically, I just don't want any of the hair and the dress to be sharing an edge. I don't use line art, but I am still concerned with tangents like that. And here, I don't really want the dress to be following the same angle as the hair. I think that looks terrible. So I'm going to find a way to change the angle of this. Fortunately, it's not that hard. I just don't want things to get too samey. And using the same angles for everything, especially for something that's supposed to be as random and chaotic as hair, just not something I really want to do. I'm also not sure what this is, but I'll worry about that in a second. But there we go. I think it looks a little bit better like this. And as always, I am concerning myself with the outside, not the inside. The inside will come later, so it's fine if I just paint things wrong colors and all that good stuff at this point. Whatever makes my life easier right at this moment. Whatever makes my life easier. So once again, I want to make sure that the angles on this part of the dress and this part of the dress are different. I do not want everything just going the same direction. Some of that I think I'm going to adjust in the lower part of the dress itself. But some of it can come from this particular layer as well. Okay, then I just want to get these edges nice and smooth. Get that curve just right. Before I go to the rest of the dress here. And I'll just take every step nice and carefully. Alright. Let me see, are you on that layer? You are. So this is the only outside bit here. So what is going on back there? Let me take off her head for a second and check. Okay, so that's just how I shaded the back hair there. That'll come later. I want to do that after I get the dress. As always, I like to get the things in front before I get the things in back. So that this way I know which parts of the things in back I actually have to pay attention to. And I don't either over-render or under-render things. I just find it a little bit more convenient. Okay, and I'm not going to worry about this angle on the dress here. I'm just going to change it in the hair later. Because I kind of want that hair to be blowing around a little bit more wildly. I think that'll be very nice. I do. And frankly, some of this is just straight up black magic. I operate very heavily on intuition. So sometimes I just know what things feel like. I try to explain it as best I can. Sometimes my reasons are reasons, and sometimes I might just be spewing nonsense. Don't worry about it. Because when it comes down to it, I am Just kind of doing what feels good. But I do try to explain some of my rules and thought processes. I've been feeling the creative work is black magic a lot lately, because I've been trying to learn how to write. Write stories, that is. And... God. For as much as drawing feels like black magic, writing is like 100 times worse. Nobody can describe how stories come to be. It is the most bizarre thing. I've been struggling somewhat to wrangle some of my story structure together. So I just, you know, went out looking for advice and maybe suggestions on how people actually do it. And pretty much everyone describes it as, I don't know, it just comes. It's very funny to me. But yeah, writing, very much black magic. Pure and utter black magic. Get your goat sacrifices ready to the dark gods, because if you want to be a writer, you're gonna need them. So I think that's kind of one of the things that makes a lot of this so interesting. I mean, I think it's wrong to say these things just happen, because, like, it is legitimately hard work, and I don't want to undermine that. But where it spawns from, it's like, who the heck knows? It just happens. You just gotta give yourself the space to make the things happen. So I'm trying to be a little bit more diligent about that. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do any writing today, because my head hurts after wrangling so many pictures the past couple of days, but... You know, next time I do. Next time I'm feeling up to doing some of the more hard creative things, I'm just gonna go. It can be hard not to worry about it, but I gotta not worry about it. And just embrace that nobody understands. Literally no one. Honestly, it just makes it all that much more incredible to me. Just all these things can just spawn. Okay, so there's that part. Let's finish going around here. Okay, and I think that's good for that. And even the back part here that's just showing up at a couple of spots, I think is already pretty smooth. So I don't think it needs any additional work. So there we go. That is some stuff. Okay. Let's go ahead and smooth out these parts here. Just get that all ready too. And then I'll figure out where I want to put all the shadows here. And how I want the dress to be transitioning from the chest part to the waist part. And the part that's just kind of sitting around her stomach. Okay. Go ahead and cover all that. There we go. And I think that is about right there. I will have to adjust the straps to match up with where I have everything else, because they're about that length. Okay. So let's see. I see a little bit of dirt in a couple of places, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean that. But besides that, I think that's good. So that's the edge there. So I think I can now lock the layer and just start... Well, maybe not here. But yeah, soon I think I can just lock the layer and just start feeling out where all the shading should go. Part of me is also tempted to take a break and do some lighting shenanigans. My brain hurts. And I want to draw more, but my brain hurts. So I just gotta push through it, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna have to adjust that frill because it's supposed to be hanging off the edge of this part that I'm drawing now, but it's going a little bit further out, and I do not want this part to go that far out. Okay. So I think something like that should be fine. I guess if I wanted something relatively straightforward, I could do this part. Since I do think that all of this already looks pretty good. Let's do it. That part... The straps will be nice and easy. They're already pretty much drawn for me, so... I say that, but then I look at them and I'm just like, oh god, what was I thinking when I drew this again? It just reminds me of coding jokes, honestly, with, It's not about writing code. Writing code is easy. It's about remembering what you wrote last month. That's the real trick. That's the real hard part. Maintaining code is an adventure. How does this look? Okay. So there is, like, 2 straps here, so I think the way I probably drew it was like this. And so this side should probably come a little further out. Maybe I'll just draw the whole thing again, that's fine. I'm gonna keep this one. Gonna reduce the opacity just so I know kind of roughly where I want things to go. And then I think I'm just gonna draw it again. So boop. Boop. And I'll do it kind of the way that I did it before. Because I still vaguely remember. Let me see. I also really want to make sure that I have it all centered correctly. Right now, I do not think I have this part centered correctly. I'll just go ahead and draw everything in detail right now, since I am at the point where I am smoothing out everything already. I might as well just do it all correctly right away. I don't think there's any point in waiting. Get the centers lined up just right. I'm actually going to try again. I think I know how I want to do this, so... Turn this back on, just so I know roughly where to draw. Trying to, like, get this all in one stroke. I think it'll make my life a little easier. There we go. Okay, and then this part should have maybe a little slight light spot right here. And right here. Okay, and then this one should have dark spots here. Just on the edge of the dress there. And I think that's good. Keeping it simple here. Okay. Then the next one. I no longer think that this is useful to me now that I've gotten the first one in, so I'm gonna go and kill it. It is now dead. Let us continue. That can be my goat sacrifice for writing today. Okay. Yeah, I want a different color. Let me just pick a blue, I guess. Is that good? Hello there, Clumsy Mystic. Thank you very much. Just kinda getting some of the details going here. It is time to clean everything up and get everything just the way I want it to be. So everything is starting to get into its final form. Okay, and I do want these straps to overlap slightly because her body's going backwards here. So she is leaning forward. All right. So let me go ahead and get the parts that I think are supposed to be light in. I think it's going to be something like that, and then like this. And now I can color this one proper, and we can get its dark parts in. So there's going to be a little bit of overlap here, and a little shadow cast from the sides here. Okay. These might be a little thin, and I also do believe that they are the wrong color, actually. Yeah. These are the same color as the frills, so I should use that color. I think is this one. No, these are the right color. Okay, no, we're good. They just feel a little bit light. I guess it's because I used a light color since they are facing my light source down there. Okay, I'll call that good then. Okay, so that was the first two. There are 4, right? 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay, here goes the next one then. This one will go from here to like over here. And then I will use blue again to get the other side. A little bit easier to understand this way. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and draw the last group before I light this, I think. Where it goes just like more straight. There, so something like that. Okay. Let's go ahead and light this then. So I think there will be a couple of light spots here. This side I don't think needs any light. This side will have a dark spot here. And down there. And over here. Okay, and this one is also totally in the dark. And then this other one will have a dark spot here. Over here. This one's going to be very dark compared to the rest. And like that. Okay. I'll go ahead and put a few extra highlights at a few spots here. Kinda... How do I want to do this? I just want to make them look a little nicer, but I changed my mind. I don't think it's quite time It is not yet time for the highlights. Let's finish the shadows first. Okay. So over here. Because right now everything still feels a little bit bright, so I'm going to add just a little bit of gradation in a couple of key points. Because I don't want these shadows to be too thick on that dress there. Okay. So I'm just going to add a little bit of gradation as it goes underneath here. And kind of on the top too, just to add a little bit more color variation, make it look a little nicer. There we go. Just something like that, something simple. Just something's kind of simple. Okay, and now I will get some light spots in. Some of that is just going to be kind of in the middle. I'm going to keep it pretty subtle, though. Pretty subtle. I do not want there to be too much. I just want to make the ones that are more directly facing the light a little bit stronger there. And then at the end here, I want to have the highlight on the edge here to make everything look a little more three-dimensional, because I think that this is the edge we see. So I do think that this will help make things look a little bit more three-dimensional. But I'm not gonna do too much with that. It's gonna be, once again, pretty simple. Just enough to make it look a little bit more three-dimensional. Actually, am I wrong? I think I might be. Because, yeah, they're pointing this way, so I am wrong. We see the other side. Okay. Backing up, then. In which case, I actually want to make the shadows on top a little bit more prominent, and I might add a little bit to the edges there, a little bit of light, but I think that this is actually more correct, where I show the 3D effect this way, because everything is pointed, yeah, I have the layers locked, but, like, this direction. It's going curving around her stomach here. So I think that we actually see the top side. Yep, that looks more like they're pressing up against her stomach now. Okay. It's okay, I get these things backwards all the time. All the time. Okay, in which case, on the other end, I just want enough light to differentiate one belt thingy from the next. And then I think I want to soften the shadows a little bit, so I'll do that too. Right now, I just think they're a little hard. I don't want to soften them too much, but I do want them a little bit softer than they are right now. And that will be another purpose of putting a little bit more light in a couple of key areas. I think it'll make things look a little softer as well. I have to remember which layer is the which, since I haven't merged my layers yet. You can bet that I'm gonna merge them when I'm done with all this, though, because man, this is way too many layers to keep track of. Way too many! Okay. And you can see, I'm softening them a little, but they're still pretty prominent. They're just not quite as... It no longer looks like you could cut yourself on the shadow. That's basically the idea. Okay. Last one here. Alright, let's get the highlight now. This one. And this time, I'm gonna press very lightly. I just want a little bit of light on the edge to show that it is curling around and to also differentiate it between the one below it just a little bit better. And it'll also make the belt itself look less sharp. See, right here, this is a pretty sharp edge, but once I add just a little tiny light here, it looks like it has a little bit more of a curve. And doesn't look quite so pointy. I don't think that one needs one, actually. This one does. Oh, that's not you. Okay. This many layers is just so unwieldy. But it's alright. It's making my life easier in this moment, so I'll deal. And then here, I'm just making the light a little bit stronger since it's so far down. Pointed very much at the light source, so I just wanted to make that light a little bit brighter. But you can see for the little shadow on the edge, or the little highlight on the edge here, I'm keeping the brush pretty small. And then once I'm ready to go in and just light that up a little, I do. And there we go. I think that's pretty okay. It looks like it's going further back. Okay, so I will get the part over here now. We'll just grab that. I think that should be fairly quick. I'll just grab all that, but I'm not quite sure if I'm ready to tackle the dress. I might render a few rocks. Just do something simple for the rest, but I do think I can handle the part under the chest here. And I do think that the waist frills are looking pretty okay. So next time I will be able to just, I don't know, smooth those out, render them, and then I can get everything else and it'll be fantastic. Soon she'll be done and I can just dig into the background. Actually, more accurately, I'll be doing the foreground first. I'm gonna merge these layers. Okay, so over here now. Let's see, how do I want to do this? There's just like a big old pinch here. So I guess I'll just go back and forth over here for now. Actually, I kind of like that little bit of extra there. I changed my mind. Okay. It looked fine for a second, but I don't think it's right. I changed my mind. I do that a lot. Okay. So I don't think these folds have to be too complicated or anything. I wanted to keep the one directly under her chest darker than the rest. I thought that looked good. So I'll go ahead and keep it like that, and I might adjust the edge here a little based on where I put some of these shadows. But that's a pretty quick adjustment, so I'm not really worried about it. Okay, and then I want to... Let's see, where do I think her body's actually going here? And which part of this is more kind of getting into the back? questions I have to ask myself. So I'm also trying to make sure I got some good pinching going in here. Because with the way that she's tilted, it's like her top part is here, and then her hips and tummy kind of go further back. She is leaning forward, and her hips are a little bit more vertical. They're slightly angled, but they're a little bit more vertical. So there is a pinch happening. If we think about what's going on here, it's like she's kind of like this. So there's a pinch happening there in kind of her stomach. And so that's around here. And so I'm trying to make sure that that pinch is showing up in the folds of the dress. So I'm trying to make sure that there is a nice pinch here. And from there, I can just kind of figure out the rest as I feel like. So something like that should be okay. I probably want to sit on how I design some of these things. So I don't think I'll fully render them today. I'll just kind of get it all started. I guess I can do that with the dress part too. Just kind of get it started. But I am trying to keep the parts that I think correspond to roughly where her torso is and is not, you know, what's going on in the background. A little bit brighter. Just a little. Just a little. And I want to make sure that there's a part here that really looks like it's turning toward the light. And then here I do need a little bit of dark because I don't want these I don't want all these shadows to be merging with each other. What's going on here is distinct from what's going on here, basically. And right now, like here, for example, this looks like a continuous line, and I don't really like that, so when the time comes, I will be putting a dark shadow underneath the frills there, and that'll help. But I do want to make sure that it looks like everything is wrapping around properly here. Okay. I think I can be pretty happy with this. Let's get a little bit more pinching going on in here. That looks pretty good, I think. Does she look a little thick on this side? I think so. So I'm going to take this back just a little. Do not want her to look chunky. But I think that's okay. That just makes her hips look big. So that's good. Okay. So yeah, I guess I'll start plopping in the basic shadows here. I'm not going to fully render this today. But I can plop down some basics. It'll help out future me. And then I do try to look after future me when I can. It's like I know she's got my back, so I do try to take care of her. All right. So this is going to be a bit messy, and that's fine. It can be a bit messy. It's all good. Just get some of the highlights here all good. Make sure the parts that are facing that magic circle are nice and bright. I do look forward to putting the rest of this together. It's gonna look great. I'm so excited. I'm just also very tired. I've been doing so much art this week. It's a good time. Because there really has just been so much art, and I am so happy. Put a little bit of light over here, I think, but this area is gonna be mostly shadowed. Okay, and shadow going up here. We'll just let this fly. It is slight nonsense, which is why it gets a slight nonsense highlight. Okay, so I guess that's the basics there. Yeah, let's render some rocks, I guess. Sounds good to me. Rendering rocks should be pretty simple. Or do I want to maybe figure out some bats? Do some more fog. Nah. I think I want to do some rocks. I want to keep my life easy today, and rocks are both simpler and less important. So today is going to be a rock day. Let's go. So I think I have my shapes here pretty okay already. I'm just going to kind of make them a little bit less hard, and I might add just a little bit more texture with a different brush afterwards. Just to make it look a little bit rockier, since I'm about to take some rocky texture out of this. I'm about to make everything look a bit smoother. Which, while necessary, will make things look less rock-like. But it's all good. I can fix it. But I think it's necessary to an extent just because, man, it wasn't looking great before. I turned on the foreground for this, and part of me really wants to, but then I wouldn't be able to get accurate colors due to the fog, so I'll just do it with it off. Probably means I'm going to over-render this, but that's fine. I'm just kind of derping around at this point anyway. Okay, and that's pretty rock-like. That should be okay. Let's get the rock bits over here, too. I need to hide the swatch so that this way I can see all these little rocks. Let's go. And I'm still not going to do anything super special here. I think it's mostly fine. There just needed to be some light spots and some dark spots throughout here so that this way the ground would look rough and textured. That's about it. Kind of the same through here. Okay. I think I'm gonna stay zoomed out while I start carving into the rock here and start adding more little planes and stuff. Just do some simple things. I guess this is technically design, but frankly, it is a very straightforward design, so that's why I'm not really worried about it today. Even though my brain is about ready for a nap. Okay, it's like the best part about doing as much as you can for a while is that when the time comes and you just can't do any more, your brain is like, okay, I did it. I did good stuff today. I can sleep in peace. Okay. So, fine. Let's go find something slightly rougher to kind of paint over things with. What about you? How are you? Are you a nice rough thing I can use to kind of bring out some rock? I think so. You look sufficiently rocky. That one's pretty okay. Let's go derp around to some other ones. This is me just messing around now. Okay, it's important to have fun. Ooh, this one's good too. I think any texture brush would work, honestly. Look at all the little scattered bits. Let's see, this one's a little harder to control though. What about you? How do you feel? You might be a little bit too smooth for what I'm trying to do. Yeah, a little bit too smooth. What about you? Are you nice and rough? Are you appropriate for a rock? I think so. This looks pretty rock-like to me. Okay, and over here I'll put a few little rough spots around. Okay. So just something like that. I think that's probably sufficient for what these are. I'll go ahead and put in the extra light here, so... Let's see, I got a bit of a glow going around the magic circle here. I think I am going to clear this, and I'm going to draw it again proper. I want to get kind of that pink. That pink I got going, and we'll make this glow. We'll make this nice and glowy. Look at it glow. It's fantastic. Okay. And then I think I'm going to get that same brush I was using before, then just kind of messing around with. It was going pretty well. And I'm going to add some rough highlights. Just in the areas that are directly facing this magic circle. Let's see. I want something a little... I want it to be rough, but maybe not quite that rough. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty good. So there we go. The parts that are just directly facing that magic circle. I think I'll add some more lights from the moon a bit later, but this is good for now. And I'll add some more various rock patterns and formations down at the bottom too. But again, I don't need to do too much. All these rocks around here are not the focal point, so just enough to make them all look good, really. So something like that. I think that's probably fine. I don't even really think I need to blur it. I think this is okay. Does it look like at 100 for people that zoom in? Yeah. I will go ahead and erase a few of the edges here just to make things a little nicer. But I think this is about all I really gotta do here. Keeping it simple, maybe. We'll see how I feel about it next time. But the me of right now thinks it's okay. I think it's okay. What's it look like with my foreground anyway? Yeah. The fact that it's all in the fog helps me out too. Let's draw a little bit of fog too. Let's see. So I still got my light pink, so I can add a little bit of that to the fog, especially near the bottom here. Just add a little bit of the pink to the haze. And make sure that it shows up on top of her dress and that the dress looks a little bit hazy in there. Don't want to overdo it, of course, but I think a little bit is healthy. After all, fog reflects quite a lot of light, actually. Part of what makes it a little bit hard to see. The glare tends to be pretty bad. So I want to make sure that some of these lighter colors are showing up in it. But I don't really want to cover her face in fog. I mean, it would make sense, but I'm drawing the anime. I don't have to care about things making sense. I only care about what looks good. And obscuring her face, I do not think would look good. I'm gonna kind of smear it around just a little here. There we go. I think that's good. I think that's good for just a little bit of fog. And let's go turn on the shadows here. Go ahead and grab my color. And I think I'm going to get started on the shadows on the torso area that I just drew today. So I got my color, got my brush. Let's start with the areas that I think will be a little bit lighter. So that'll be kind of the areas in her neck over here. And on top of her shoulder. We will add quite a bit of light here. Because I think quite a lot of this is going to be in the light, actually. So when I said that eventually I was going to add some lighting from the moon, that's basically what this is. This is what the lighting for the moon will do. So I'm mostly erasing spots kind of around the edges. It'll be some nice rim light. And it should help separate some things too, so that'll be nice. So let's see, this arm should get quite a lot, I think. Even up through here. And definitely back here. And I'll let the light follow part of the choker here. Although it's not super visible or anything. And then I think, even though it's not really relevant to the moon, I do want over here to be a little bit more lit. Just because this part is so strongly pointed at the light below. I'm gonna try to keep it pretty simple and subtle. And when the time comes, I'll just add some, like, additional light. It'll be fine. But right now, I just feel like this part is a little bit too dark. Kind of the same with over here. It's just a little bit too dark. So I'm going to take it back just a little. And then here should be lit, and over here. Okay. And now I want to clean up those edges a little. start kind of perfecting the stuff that I was just doing. Get it all just right. Make sure that none of the edges are too hard or too soft. All that good stuff. And that everything is just how I want it to be. And I think this is probably going to be the last thing that I do today. I will turn the light on though, and I might muck around with it just a little bit. We'll see. See how I feel. Because to be fair, mucking around with the light is a lot of fun. It is a very, very good time. Okay, I think that's pretty good for the arm there. God, this is going to look so good once I get all the lights on. I'm so excited. Okay, and here I think I'm going to use my blur to kind of smooth this out a little. Okay. I just kind of like that. I think that looks pretty good. And let's get just a little bit more light on this gem here. Just a little. I don't really want to light the chest area there too much, but I just felt like, oh, that was a little bit too dark. All right. So there we go. That's the area that I did today. So you know what? Sure. Let's go ahead and play with the light just a little bit. I get the feeling I'm going to need multiple layers of this. So just because the colors don't fully match up, but I can get it started. I just kind of want to see what it looks like when I have a bunch of these things on. Because it's the kind of thing that just makes me happy. So I think there'll probably be a light here and over here and around this, through most of this, and most of this back part here. Definitely around here and here. On the bottom side here. And on most of the hair here, some of the stuff in the back there. Okay. There we go, just quick and dirty update here on the areas that I think will receive the most light. And hopefully, you know, once I actually get that looking good, then this entire thing will just sing, and I will hear the song of the picture, and it'll be wonderful. And I think it is all looking pretty good, though. Next time, I think I might be in sight of finishing the character. Not quite sure if I'll be able to do it, just because there is still a fair amount to do. It's like I have the dress here, I still have her back hair, which hair is very time-consuming. Some stuff with the dresses here and her legs, and then I still have frills and like all of these tiny details on her. Just all those things. So, not quite sure if I'm going to be in character finishing range next time, but it is getting pretty close. So I do think that within the next couple of sessions, I will be rendering that castle. And I can stop haunting my dreams. But for now, I think this is where I will stop for today. So, thank you all for coming. And I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I will see you all tomorrow.